Okay, thank you. So again, good evening, everyone. Another Tuesday, another week of learning. So welcome to our buyers protection and compliance, the topic for tonight. So what every professional brokers and agents like us must know. So again, this is your broker, Samuel Lau. So why this topic matters a lot, no? So why I pick this topic and share it tonight? Because in our real estate business, real estate is the largest financial decision a buyer made. Every now and then, yung hard-earned money nila when they decided to buy a property, seldom it is just a six-figure, no? Thousands, but it's always millions of pesos. So when a broker tayo nagkamali, pag-verify, pag-validate sa mga property, lagot tayo, no? Magkaroon ng buyer lost money, transaction collapse, legal dispute, broker's risk na mawalan tayo ng lisensya. Kaya as professional broker and agent, we must protect our buyer in every transaction and reputation. So, let's elaborate this thing. Sabi ko nga noon pa yon, as a real estate broker or agent tayo, huwag tayong mag-aim na puro commission. O huwag tayong mag-aim na one-time, big-time deal na biglang kumita ng malaki. Kasi if we work hard to make money, bakit nga ba? Bakit nga ba? Ask yourself, bakit nga ba, broker A, ba't ka nga nag-work hard to make money? Kasi lahat tayo, we have a family to support. But the problem is, iniisip lang natin magkaroon ng malaking one-time, big-time deal kahit meron tayong masagasaan na fellow professionals, broker, agents, or kahit meron tayong matabla, maloko na mga buyers or sellers para lang kumita ng malaki kasi we have a family to support. But, mind you, the most important is our reputation. Kasi pag lumaki yung anak mo, and then, biglang sabi, anak ka pala ni broker A, yung nangloko sa akin, anak ka pala ni broker B, yung inapakan kami, fellow professionals niya, sinulot yung kliyente namin, or binastos kami, or tinabla kami, ingat tayo. Money loss, we can recover. But reputation loss, mahirap ma-recover sa profession, kahit sa anong industriya. Kaya, in our transaction in real estate, we, as much possible, validate all our listing. Perform proper due diligence. Let's not make shortcut. If there is an honest mistake, tanggapin natin na may kulang sa information and we promise to get back. Sorry, coughing break muna. Pag may kulang sa information at hindi mo alam yung sagot, be frank ka. Buyer, seller, co-broker, I will get back to you to answer that commission. I will get back to you to validate in black and white kung yung commission natin 5% or 3% kasi malaki ang transaction. Alam naman natin, pag malaki ang transaction, sometimes or not sometimes, palagi, pinababaan ang percentage ng commission ng mga property owner, ng mga seller. Again so ingat tayo sa pag-handle ng mga transaction sa real estate because this is a very hard-earned money ng mga kliyente natin. So, mawalan sila ng pera, matabla sila, ma-default sila. Lalo na yung mga salesperson natin or tayo, pagdating sa project selling, pera, commission na kaagad because habol natin yung quota, yung iba pa. Yun pala, tinignan natin, pinasok lang natin sila sa trap kasi masyadong mura yung equity. Pero pagdating sa loan takeout, alam natin na hindi natin inalam na hindi pala siya qualified. Okay, we'll get more on that. So the role of us, professional, broker, and agent, we must be a market advisory. We must be the market advisor. Alamin natin yung market. Lalo na ngayon, what's the effect of the war? What's the effect of the political agenda, geopolitics problem? Diba? So it affects our economy for the last 3 years. maraming external factor beyond our control kahit magaling pa tayo na broker and agent. But we must be sensitive. We must read and watch current events. We must understand the economic macro level in the industry that can affect our real estate industry. Risk valuator. We need to understand. Nandyan si Colliers, nandyan si CLL, nandyan si CBRE, Pinnacles, iba pa na mga commercial advisory, mga nagbibigay ng mga input on the economy. So, mga up and down, pros and cons. So, we need to understand. You don't need to memorize the whole economy of the Philippines. You just need to be the advisor and expert in your own locality. May macro level tsaka may economic localized level. Alamin mo, ano bang effect ng Cebu pagdating doon sa pinatigil yung, pinasara yung tawag noon, yung tapunan ng mga basura, no? So until now, it is temporarily being tapon in the SRP. Imagine you've been marketing SRP for the commercial high-end. Suddenly, portion of SRP ginawang tambakan ng basura ng Cebu for the meantime. Okay? So compliance guide, ano yung mga requirements pag-usapan natin yan more on the next slide. Transaction protector, no? Pag-usapan natin yan. So your responsibility is not just to sell. Again, our responsibility is not just to sell. We need to be a proper advisor para proper magbigay ng tamang informasyon, tamang choices para the buyer can make a sound decision. The seller can make a sound decision. Magkano ba ang ilalabas nilang fair market value selling price? So you need to provide your own broker opinion or refer to a licensed valuator to come up with a fair market value by a licensed valuator. Okay? So, hopefully malinaw ito for a while. So, common risk in property transaction. So, many buyers face several risk factor, no? Number one, pag hindi tayo maingat as a broker agent, maraming mga fake title. I myself, even in my own level, for 16 years, I've been a victim of fake title. I've been a victim of a fake title because the scammer itself is a director of the, sabihin na lang natin, saan ba tayo magpapacertify ng title? Diba sa Register of Deeds, LRA? What if the director itself inside job is kasama sa syndicate? I'm a victim. I myself. Hanggang ngayon, the original title with a fake, sabihin na lang natin fake, nasa akin pa. Hindi ko na nabawi pera ko. We will have another story for that. Fake seller. We've been a victim, not me personally, but my firm, my associate broker, we've been a victim of a fake seller, a fake attorney. In fact, we've been a victim. 1 million loss. Project without license to sell. Yes, I've been a victim. I myself, during my early years, I've been into very focused in, sabihin natin, project selling. Only half of my years practice that I've been into brokerage. But in my first 7 years, I've been into project selling. So I've been helping very common friends. Yun. So I'm not just in the early years. Sa totoo, why I'm doing this? Because I experienced on my early years, not all brokers are generous in sharing their knowledge, generous in sharing their good experience and bad experience. Kasi pag nag-share sila, naiiwasan sana natin yung iba pang pagkakamali. So, the reason they cannot bring to their grave their knowledge. Atin ngayon, we're sharing this because in the future, you become knowledgeable than me. I have an agent na naging broker, na ngayon nagiging top seller, na ngayon in their own realty, in their own way. So I'm a proud on that mentor, no? Na yung mentee ko nagiging mentor na rin ng maraming sellers and maraming associate broker in Mindanao. So sooner or later, baka siya ang magturo sa anak ko. So vice versa. Let's share our knowledge. I hope you duplicate. Yun lang hinihingi ko, no? What you learn from me, duplicate it with your fellow brokers and your fellow agents. So let's go back to the topic. Project without license to sell. Pag-usapan natin yan more mamaya. Boundary dispute. Physically, marami. We will discuss it properly mamaya. Isang slide yan. Property lien and mortgage, malaki din yung topic mamaya. So, may slide tayo dyan. The risk can cost buyer millions of pesos. So, if you're the broker, if you're the agent, imagine if the buyer is your pinsan, the buyer is your kumpare, kumari, or family friend. Ano na lang masabi niya sa iyo, no? So, kaya ingat na ingat talaga dapat tayo kasi this is our chosen profession. If you cannot do it, don't do it. Sabi ko nga, sample muna tayo. In my insurance, prior to real estate, I've been in insurance for more than 10 years. The reason I stopped, I cannot promise to deliver. I'm in life insurance before. I cannot promise to deliver hanggang sa, kasi your commitment to your insurance ka, service-oriented tayo. Hindi lang yung, I experience kasi na yung ahente ko sa insurance very active pagkuha ng insurance. Tsaka year 1 kasi may commission. Year 2, year 3, hindi ko na nakita. To follow up my payment, hindi ko na nakita. Hanggang nag-default ang insurance ko. Yung contestability bumalik. Very poor professional service. If you cannot commit, don't do that profession. Like us, broker and agents. If we cannot commit to deliver good service to our client, to validate first the property before we sell, as buyer side, to do a second round of due diligence before para yung buyer mo can create a sound decision making. If we cannot service properly, better magtrabaho na lang tayo, no? Kasi maawa tayo sa hard-earned money ng mga potential buyer investors natin. So, number 1, license to sell. One of the most important buyer protection in project selling, DSUD. Without LTS, selling is illegal. Marketing is illegal. Reservation may be invalid. So sa totoo lang, we can request 100% refund. If our buyer, mayroong nagtanong nga sa akin, Sam, can I get 100% refund? When I ask my LTS ba yun, wala. Oh, well, you can have 100% refund. Okay? So mahabang topic yan, may legal concept yan, but honestly, you can request 100% refund pag a project. Tsaka, let's not promote a project without LTS because worst scenario, kawawa yung buyer natin. Hindi siya protected by DSUD. Why DSUD so important? Why LTS so important? Later, I'll show another slide for that. What they should check before issuing LTS. So this is the reason. So bago si developer, si DSUD magbigay ng LTS kay developer, the DSUD required developer to submit all this validation, clarification. Land ownership is developer is really the owner of the land. Kaya maraming yuta data dyan, hulug-hulugan, puro lang attorney in fact, kawawa, no? Pag nakatanggap ng pera, biglang alis, kawawa. Yung naka-registered na owner, siyang lahat ang mapailan ng kaso. Kasi umalis na nga, no? Buti na kung mahanap mo pa yung nag-market. So that's very common. Pag-usapan natin yan on the scam topic. But very important, DSUD will check the ownership. Pangalawa, development permit is everything must be there. Approved project plan. Complete with science, engineer, and everything. Developers' financial capability. Making sure na may capacity to finish ang developer. Kung 300 million ang project to build, 100 ang equity ng developer. Kung manghiram siya ng pera loan sa bangko, dapat may guarantee from the bank na proof of guarantee na bank is already approving the fund of additional 200 to complete the 300 million. Compliance also with the housing law. Lahat yung mga requirements ng law, no? Yung road network, drainage, clubhouse, fencing, iba pa. So this ensure the project is legitimate and viable. So if we broker agent always ask for license to sell, then nandoon na ibigay yan. Pag may doubt tayo, we can always check that with DSOD. Validate that also with DSOD. Baka fake yan, no? So we need to do that. So why LTS protect our buyer? The land is legally owned. Development plans are approved. Infrastructure will be delivered. Buyer will receive titles. It is critical safeguard for a property buyer. There is a case here in Cebu, may LTS yung then nagkaroon ng kaso yung homeowners tsaka yung developer. For what reason? Matagal na promise, it's been 5 years promise yung mga amenities na hindi na-deliver natapos ng developer. Kaya nag-file na ng kaso after doing it in the DSOD, nag-file na, hindi nagka-amicably settled with all those things hanggang na umabot sa court and nanalo ang homeowners. Maraming case na. I think I heard 2 but marami pa. But 2 meron na. May isa condominium project, yung isa horizontal project. The only reason DSOD come in because may LTS. Okay? So may record si DSOD ano yung mga promises. To avoid misrepresentation, nandoon yung black and white, ano yung mga pre-approved bago nagbigay ng LTS, nandoon yung pre-approved. May swimming pool siya, may road network siya, ito yung measurement, ito yung open space. Very, very transparent yan. Kaya if they don't deliver, when you do a hearing in the DSOD, it's black and white, pakikita. So DSOD will question the developer, no? So again, DSOD is for buyer's protection. LTS, DSOD is for buyer's protection. So example problems without LTS, very common in the illegal project. Road never completed. Marami yan. Try imagine, Utah Data. They're selling the Utah Data minsan sinasabi nila 2.5 to 3.5 thousand per square meter. And promising a concrete road, promising a gated and guardhouse, clubhouse, fence. But if you ask any contractor now in your area, Malusun, Visayas, Mindanao, I have a 1 hectare. Contractor, magkano ba bang pa land development sa 1 hectare? And they will tell you, noon, it's only 2,500 per square meter. Based on the 10,000 square meter, 1 hectare. So that would be 25 million. So meaning, per square meter ang bilangan dyan kasi they gonna land depth it and follow the terrain para yung drainage water connect to municipal or city drainage or highway drainage, whatever. So ngayon, it's already 3.5 per square meter. The last year, when I'm asking a contractor to do an estimate in one of my clients' lot subdivision project. So question, how can a Utah Data deliver all these promises if that is the cost nowadays? Sabihin na lang natin, kahit 3,000 per square meter. And they are selling 2.5 to 3.5 range or sabihin natin 4,000. What is the cost of the land? What is the cost? Yung taxes, commission, incentives, profit. So, kaya, malaman na lang nila that they cannot deliver, they cannot finish the project. Kaya iiwan ang project unfinished. So sinong kawawa? After 3 years, 4 years, kasi 5 years to pay yon. Ang kawawa are the buyers. Usually, their victims are OFW. So, sinong babalikan ng OFW? Yung pinsan niya na ahente, yung pinsan niya na broker na selling those property na without LTS. Kasi pag may LTS yon, after the DSOD will really scrutinize kung may capacity to pay, capacity to develop and finish the project. Yung developer yun. Kumbaga, enterprising developer, marami. We are happy for everybody to be a developer, an agent to be a developer, a broker to be a developer. But what we don't like is to scam buyers. Alanganin ang pagka-developer. I saw so many enterprising, kaya nga there's a big role ang mga consultant to guide those enterprising person na magiging developer to check everything, to guide everything, lalo na sa financial side. Do they have the capacity to finish the project? Maraming mga cases dyan, no, na unfinished project. May pera pang finish, kaso due to temptation, ginamit yung portion ng money na yan, bumili ulit ng another property, launching it knowing yung kita ng property number 2 gagamitin to finish property number 1. So nagka-kiting. Ano bang ibang word ng kiting, but that's it, no? So another developer victim for that. Utilities not installed kasi wala nang pera or walang permit, walang title not transferred. Developer disappeared. Very, very common. So why? LTS verification is very essential because pag may LTS, we can guarantee na kaya nga minsan hindi natin mapalabas ng dali yung LTS because DSUD are really doing their part. Gone with the day na yung pwedeng bayaran si DSUD, no? Mga tao doon sa DSUD noon, sabi nila mabilis. Ngayon wala na kasi hindi mo basta-basta mabayaran yung DSUD na ngayon because maraming nasagasaan, maraming shortcut, maraming nasagasaan na genuine buyers, hard-earned money na wala. So, where to verify project of course legitimacy? Of course, let's go back to DSUD, no? And every region there is what we call a regional office of the DSUD. So, pag may LTS, kunin mo yung copy ng LTS mo, then you can validate it with the DSUD office before you parking your hard-earned money. So that's number 1. Make sure may LTS. Kasi alam ko this would be online also in YouTube. So baka may buyer na kikinig in the future. Always ask with your agents and your broker na itong project na binigay nyo, may license to sell ba ito? Pag may license to sell, have you validated this license to sell in the DSUD office? Parang nag-validate lang tayo ng title, no? May annotated ba mga liens encumbrance itong title? Sinabi ng broker, sinabi ng agent, wala. Question, have you secured latest certified true copy? Wala. So why did you say na walang annotation? What is your proof na walang annotation? Sabihin mo, yes, I got it already last year. Last year and now, there's 12 months difference. May nangyari na nga na January, we get it a certified copy clean. But when we do the, kasi nag-earnest money kami, when we do the closing by March, on the end of January, nagkaroon ng adverse claim. Imagine ha, kaya nga always a week before closing, we always require our buyers, legal team to get new certified copy. So the seller, bago kayo magbenta, you need to validate and get certified copies because it's your job first round to validate to legally feasible to market the property. It is not the job of the buyer side. It is the first job description of the seller side to validate seriously your property that you are sharing, making sure it is legally feasible to market it. Pangalawa, pag na-offer mo na sa mga co-broker mo, sa mga kliyente mo, let's say na-offer mo sa akin, buyer side, we do our second round of due diligence. Lalo na before we pay. Okay? Lalo na before we pay. So I hope very clear. So buyer rights. Buyer are protected under different law. Nandyan si Masida law that we discussed last week, no? So yung mga nag-default na buyer, as long more than 2 years, papasok si Masida law. Nandyan yung mga subdivision condominium buyers protection, DSUD regulation, which it's not our topic now, but itong mga law na to, nandyan yung mga guidelines, protection, requirements ng DSUD na for me to give government DSUD for us to issue license to sell. These are the check compliance requirements of a developer. if you're into this type of development, the road network must be 12, 10, 8 minimum. If it is socialized economic, must be 8, 6 minimum, something like that, no? So there is that specific guidelines. So to protect the buyer. Okay? So we will discuss that once we discuss this law. But again, I'm just sharing it to you. Maseda law, of course, na-mention na natin to last week. Just a recap lang, no? It provide grace period, refund rights, and protection against sudden cancellation. If tayo, buyer, or our buyer cannot finish paying the property, di ba? At lalo na, it pay more than 2 years yung naibigay nating bayad. More than 2 years. Okay? Broker must understand this. So if you miss this topic, go back to my YouTube account, our webinar playlist, nandoon yun, no? So, Faith, you can type in our chat box the link para they can check it and download. Anytime you can watch it again. Developers feel obligation, no? So, buyer may file, okay, ito ha, action plan tao. Pag may mga pagkukulang, tayo, the buyer, with the help of our brokers, we can file complaint to DSOD office, no? Possible remedies, refund, or completion order or administrative penalty. So, of course, nandoon yung first, you ask the developer, bakit na-delay yung mga amenities? You promised 2023. We are now on the first quarter 2026. Wala pa yung swimming pool, wala pa yung basketball court. Kailan ma-deliver? So, after several demand, hindi pa mano, ipaalala mo na you're gonna raise it to the DSOD. Then talaga, DSOD na tayo, and then DSOD will help you with this problem to address it with the developer. So, magkaroon yan ng hearing, no? So, I'm not on the legal side. So, ito lang, sample lang itong sinabi ko sa inyo. Property fraud. Real estate, maraming mangloloko ngayon at parami ng parami because madali ang pera. If you try to imagine ngayon sa NBI and everything, halos buwan-buwan merong mga nahuling ng loloko. Recently, a week ago, NBI may nahuli na yuta data, no? Again, hulog-hulugan. Nagbenta si A, hinuli kasi nagbenta siya in a form of attorney in fact SPA. Kaso ang complainant ngayon are the siblings of the property. Bakit binenta yung property nila ni A sa Utah data, which is yung principal owner, registered owner, their parents died already long time ago. So the SPA died also. Kung patay na yung principal who execute that special power of attorney, there's no power. Of course, may mga exception yan, no? But for that specific news ads lang na sa naintindihan ko. So, nahuli siya. And of course, plead guilty naman siya. No? So, you research that one na lang. It's been just last week in the NBI issue. So, fake property ownership, marami yan. We'll discuss that properly in the next due diligence topic. But very uso yan. Ford special power attorney. Ayan, sample na yan sa naloko kami yung 1 million. Fake title, sample ko din yan sa... Oh, I'll give you example ha. On the fake title. Nalusutan ako kasi when I represent a buyer wanted to buy, that property was represented by our fellow licensed broker also. So I meet the president of the association or selling the property, and then with a certified copy, with a traceback, everything, and I meet the set of officers, I meet the broker, I meet the RD na kaibigan din nila. So on that meeting, when I fly to their place, so there's a closed door meeting. They presented also a certified copy. So when I came back to Cebu, I presented it to my prospect Japanese, wanted to buy huge land. Di ba uso ngayon yung mga malaking lupa, di ba? So, wanted to buy that huge land. So, of course, as a buyer side, I do my second round of due diligence. Di ba? Sabi ko, they give me a set folder of certified copy. Latest date pa yon, a month ago. But before my buyer, Japanese firm, decided to buy, we do round of our own due diligence, meaning our own, tao ko, kumuha ng mga certified copy. Kasi kung i-trust ito din, kung manluloko sila, baka niloko din lang yung documents binigay sa akin, which it happened, no? So, when we did our second round of due diligence, so my associate broker on my office visited the RD without informing everybody in that locality. Just incognito, go the officer of the day, hingi ako ng certified copy of this sample Xerox copy. So na sabi ng officer of the day na, sir, we don't have record of this title D, Delta title. So if you trace back title D, title Charlie, title Bravo, title Alpha, the original title. So on that trace back binigay nila sa amin, they're selling title Delta, pang-apat na TCT. Canceled na yung Charlie, Bravo, Alpha. Okay. But when my associate broker visited that certain RD office, sabi ng officer of the day, sir, we don't have record on this title. Pinakita ng associate broker ko, miss ito tsaka please pakitingin nga itong Charlie title na canceled in favor to title D. Di ba sa lower part of the title nandoon yun? Sir, hindi pa naman canceled to, sir. There's still, ito sir, meron kaming copy for this one. Okay, may copy kayo. Okay, please pwede humingi ng certified copy. So, umuwi yung tao ko, bit-bit yung certified copy of that title Charlie, not canceled. Tama? So, not canceled. So, on that regional office, LRA, title Charlie not canceled. But on that the same region, kausap ko yung director mismo of that RD who is kaibigan ng property owner president of their organization, said, yeah, and they are the one who explained to me the certified copies and everything. So when I go to Manila to check our network with the LRA, with the TCT of the title Delta, it's noted in the system, but the property is located in Northern Luzon area. Imagine. So the one who manufactured the fake title using an original paper title, no, ng RD, but ginawang, paano ko ba, insider job, sabihin na lang natin, no? It's an insider job. So, sino ba mag-certify? Buti na lang, hindi nila alam na nandoon tao ko, tsaka yung officer of the day, siguro hindi kasama sa payroll nila, no? Well, these are history. So, hopefully, I learned my hard-earned lesson. I was a victim of almost, sabihin natin, almost 1 million peso for that. To cut the story short, alam ko ang mga taong mangloloko din ulit yon. So, they do it again with another group and then they are now in the jail until now. So, again, yun na lang, no? But I did not recover my money. So, fake title, identity thief, nangyari na rin ito. Okay, I'll tell you as another story for identity. Kaya, make sure tayo seller group, ha? If you are the seller group representing broker A, seller group, pinakilala nyo, hi Sam, ito si Maria, ito yung buyer. You need to make sure, you need to validate that is Maria, that is really the seller, registered owner, not a fake person. Okay, on our case, nangyari is, Maria is the registered owner. Happen to be Maria is in Manila daw. May sakit. So, sending Pedro, not all real name, sending Pedro the pamangkin as attorney in fact, may special power of attorney to represent Maria, the registered owner, and to etc. parang to accept. Earnest money pa naman yun, earnest money pa. Kaya, nandun lahat certified copy, nandun lahat prepared by the broker, seller group broker, kasama niya mga university professor pa, respected personality. Okay, I trusted the senior broker in my practice. I trusted this. Kakilala ko din yung mga teacher from university representing Pedro, the attorney in fact. So when my client paid the earnest money, of course, we ask 30 days grace period. But that document, that property, we ask 60 days. So during the process when we validate, kasama na yung identity of the seller when we validate on the due, as part of the due process, o due diligence, due process naman, sorry, due diligence, lumabas na fake identity. Si Pedro, yung driver's license niya sa LTO, ibang Pedro lumabas, not similar person in photo. So lumabas, it's a fake stolen identity. Okay? So stolen identity, depensa ng seller group, they are a victim also. Naloko daw sila. So the question ngayon, we file complaint to recover our earnest money. And they pled also na they're also a victim by their client. So that's why sabi ko nga, this story, if I am a broker based in Cebu, if somebody wanted to sell their property in Bohol, represented by agent or enterprising person wanted to make money in real estate, walang problema yan. But we broker, let's not be so greedy to be a broker on record. Again ha, to be a broker on record of the buyer and to be a broker on record on the seller. Kasi pag may mali, lagot sa iyo lahat ang responsibility. So always endorse that to a broker based in Bohol para it's easy for the broker in Bohol to validate the identity of the seller and to validate the documents of the property in Bohol. And they become the seller side. And you can always maintain the broker on the buyer side. At that can create a wall of a liability. Pag may nangloko sa seller side, you can go sue after on the seller side. That's your defense if you're on the buyer side. Pero if you really grab every now and then, just like ngayon, I have a group in Negros. I trusted the guys, but I am not confident. I am not confident sometimes because I'm not really in Negros and I cannot do a proper due diligence. Kaya I know this guy is also listening us now. That's the one of the reasons sometimes na hindi ko kaagad ma-entertain, maibenta yung property nyo if I am not 100% confident, validated na pwede ko nang i-market as a listing side broker. Kaya we are using this MLS platform every Tuesday. We're here to share para if we can develop a co-broker in Negros, in Bohol, in Northern Luzon, Southern Luzon, Mindanao area, pag may mga enterprising partner tayo, which they have the right to make money, we can endorse them to a licensed broker to be their partner. Sabihin natin, Agent A, I cannot help you honestly to validate in Palawan, but I can recommend you with my licensed broker na friend based in Palawan to help validate that property. Kasi when you do validation, kaya ba ng ahente na yan? Do you trust na siyang kukuha ng mga certified copy? Then ikaw mag-interpret? What if he is another scammer katulad ng people na nag-victim sa akin sa Mindanao? The document they submitted me is a forged document, no? It's a fake document. And I don't have rights to check it. Buti na lang, pinalarga ko talaga, pinapunta ko yung tao ko doon. So not everybody can afford to do that. Time and effort, no? Tsaka, it's better yung local broker na you trust. Siya yung bigyan mo ng negosyo, siya yung mag-due diligence, mag-validate doon. Kasi he is very or she is very familiar with the locality, mga tao doon, makapagtanong talaga siya, makapag-validate in person. Marami pa yan. Maybe after here, if we have time, I'll give you a sample checklist. Okay? Broker must be vigilant. I hope I'm able to give a good example. Agent verification. Before marketing any property, we need to verify the identity of the owner. Nabanggit ko na yan. Check original title. Kasi marami na, no? I've been almost deal, nandito na, magbabayaran na. So, nung umuwi na yung seller because they want to accept the sabihin natin, money in person, yun pala, hindi pala nila bitbit ang original title, nawala pala. So, from the start, it's also normal na before we continue, by the way, we want to validate, make sure, do you have the owner's copy in your hand? Kasi 3 times already, hindi kami natuloy, nalaman na lang nila na nawala pala. And what they have, isa pa, nasa bangko na-realize niya, yung nasa vault pala niya is a photocopy, colored photocopy. Kaya akala nila, yun. Colored photocopy pala yun. So, lost title. So, na-delay. And to reconstitute a title now would run around 12 months plus minus. So, matagal yun. Confirm the tax declaration if it's also validated and everything. Kasi minsan, I experience na yung title walang annotation, but yung tax deck may annotation, may problema, basta may problema. Hindi kami natuloy bumili noon. Verified seller's authority. Yung mga SPA niya, that must be conforming and everything. Maraming mga scammer ngayon. Let's careful, no? So, never rely on a photocopy alone. Kaya nga, sabi ko sa mga enterprising agents na it's not easy. If we make money na malaki sa real estate, because it's not easy, our job. For you as a seller side, we need to do process of interview. We ask the initial document that we can, the title, the tax deck, the tax clearance, the TIN number, the ID of the seller. Hingi tayo ng SPA na nakasulat, SPA for us authorizing to get a certified copy of all these documents bigay niya. Bakit? Kasi pagkuha natin ng certified copy, gagastos tayo. Then once makuha na natin yung certified copy ng title, ng tax deck, tax clearance, malaman natin doon kung clean, walang annotation. Sa tax deck, tax clearance, malaman natin na walang problema, updated, or pag may problema, ilang taon hindi nabayaran. Court clearance, malaman natin na walang court cases. In my case, na-experience ko na malinis ang title, ang tax deck, walang annotation. Pero pagdating sa court clearance ng MTC at RTC, may court case 5 years ago. But the case was not annotated in the title and tax deck. Okay? Very important yan kasi kung malinis yan, suddenly may problemang lumabas, the buyer can always depend as buyer in good faith. Because late, walang annotation, hindi mo inatoit, may habol ka pala, hindi mo na-annotate, no? So never rely on photocopies, always get. Seller side, always get. And then make sure marami pa yan yung mga estate liquidation, siblings. Make sure the siblings, all siblings is 100% selling property. If this is not 100% selling property, can they do it extrajudicial settlement? Kung hindi, nako, matagal ang judicial settlement. So title red flag. Pag may mga title certified, makikita mo lang ito, sabihin, sinabi ng property owner, binigyan ako ng Xerox copy ng title niya, malinis, walang annotation. Yes, title niya yun eh. Hawak niya yun. Hawak niya for 15 years since binili niya, example. Pero hindi natin alam, yung mga may utang siya doon, nag-adverse claim doon, yung may mga kaso doon, naglagay ng mga clients, encumbrances, etc. sa korte. Okay? Kaya we need to get copy. So you cannot say it's clean pag you did not do your job. Madali lang, no? Pag sinabi ko, may annotation ba yan? Yes, sabi niyo, wala, malinis. Pag sinabi ko, can you give me a certified copy? When did you get a wala pa? Hindi pa kami kumuha. So why you answered me na clean? Hindi pa kayo kumuha ng certified copies. Bakit sinabi niyo walang court case? Hindi pa kayo kumuha ng court clearance. So if your property owner it's not cooperative, you need to be questioned. We broker need to guide our agents. Kaya nandun yung role natin as a listing broker to us. Kaya nga, if we can practice this properly, we can secure always a exclusive listing. Property owner, before I sell your property, this is my questionnaires. Please kindly fill this up, no? And this is the initial documents I will ask from you. From here, I will ask a SPA for you, authorizing me to get certified copy of this. Nandoon, limited. Para hindi siya matakot, baka matakot siya peperma because of ibenta. Sabi niya, pag ayaw pumirma, okay, if you don't sign me SPA to get this one, do you have time to get it? Or maybe your son, your husband, and partner can get it. Kasi we are not authorized, walang SPA, lalo na sa LGU, di ba? So, why we need to get certified? Malinis to. Ma'am, the only way we can say malinis yan, but we have a certified copy on record. Okay? So, if you want, kaming gagastos, kaming mag-ano dyan, these are just part of my time and effort. That's why we are securing a 6-month exclusive listing or 12 months exclusive listing. So, once after validation and we all agreed with the price, by the way, with the price, I can give you my broker opinion, or I can recommend you with a licensed appraiser to appraise your property for fair market value, so to guide you or to guide among your siblings. So then we can advertise it to our MLS with the hundreds of broker. The 5% you give, kami na maghati 50-50. So walang gugulo sa iyo every now and then for any documentations. Ako magpo-provide kanila for site tour, site visit, validation. Ako na, to screen buyers. Ako na. Kaya in return, with all my time, effort, and money and expenses, hopefully you understand why I'm asking for an exclusive listing. Okay, so hope you get those things. Boundary dispute, very common. Ito latest to ha. In Southern Cebu, the lot owner always, kumbaga, si Mr. R always kulit, no? Sa benta mo na property ko, nice, super nice, overlooking. Sabi nga, sir, malayo ha, it's a travel of 3 hours from my place. Sabi ko nga, sir, tulong mo na lang ako, sir. Because I interpret already your document, it is landlocked. Landlocked ang issue, boundary. It is landlocked. Even your document title, technical description, walang bounded by road. Even your geodetic survey, your sketch plan, triangle, the tip, 1 point, just yun ang nakakonect sa barangay road. Hindi, napuntahan mo na yun, Sam, di ba? It's 4 meters wide ang road right of way ko. Sir, physically, yes. But on document, no. Mahirap, sir, kahit saan tayo mag-interpret dito. Sa akin na lang, sir, kung maghirap man tayo mag-market dito as your listing broker, time will come if a buyer will do their round of due diligence with their lawyer, or if I am a broker like me, when they read this one, everybody know how to read this technical description. Everybody know how to read your approved survey, approved sketch plan, no? So sabi niya nag-widening na kasi and then sa widening kaya nabuksan tayo ng ilang metro kaya diyan. So okay, good, nag-widening. Can you get pa-certify mo na lang, sir, sa municipal niyo engineer that due to that widening, yung tip na portion na to nabuksan ng 3 meters. Kasi yung sabi niya. Then with that certification, ipa-annotate natin doon, no, sa kung let's with the help of the legal na this portion nabawasan ng ilang square meter because nagiging part na of the road network. Kaya yung tip dulo nagiging parang may additional 1 point na, so may bukas na 3 meters. Sabi na nadagdagan pa daw yung widening frontage kasi nag-donate yung, kumbaga, yung katabi, nag-donate din. Okay, then, please, do you have a written? So, I just guide sample lang. So, I able to explain properly na you want a fast sell. So, let's correct in advance para pag may client na tayo, everything, the papers is really legally feasible to sell. Hindi yung pag may client na natin tatrabahoin. Okay, so, remember, sir, you meet me now, but that property, as you said, it's been in the market for more than a year. Masyadong magandang location mo, the price is reasonable. Ngayon, di mo na tanong, bakit hindi pa nabenta? Because that's the issue. If your attitude will remain like that, That's the reason I myself, if inconsistent ka, I will not market that property. It will just ruin my integrity. As a broker, parang I don't know what to do. So, naintindihan naman ng Mr. Property Owner. So, he promised to get back with me kasi last week lang yon. Okay, so, overlapping, encroachment. So, dito, minsan hindi natin alam kasi on the seller side, you do interview but you don't do relocation survey. On the buyer side, when they buy, part of the due diligence, they do relocation survey. Kaya tayo, as a seller side, we do ocular survey. There's a part in the Naga when we do ocular survey, doon namin nakita kasi on the drawing on paper, straight line. Pero yung fence niya parang may nagiging ang 2 lines naging parang 4, 6 line kasi parang encroachment, nag-encroach yung kabila. So physically nakita na natin na may problem na encroachment. So more so issue lang to. Suspicious property, pag nagbenta ng pero masyadong mura, too good to be true. Maraming property binenta too good to be true. So we need to be careful. What's the reason? Could be distress, may medical needs and everything. But sometimes, too good to be true, laliman natin ang due diligence and interview, no? Tanong natin mga kapitbahay and everything. Mga barangay, magmarites tayo, no? Magmarites tayo. So possible reason, ownership dispute. Pinamadali benta, yun pala without talking to the other siblings. May case ako na 5 sila but yung isa lang nagbenta. He declared siya lang ang heir. Yun pala 5 sila. So ganong issue, no? So ikaw na akala mo masyadong mura, bili ka kaagad. Hidden legal issue. Title defect. So always verify before marketing. Okay? Another scenario, may binenta na property na tax deck lang daw. Kaya mura tax deck, tsaka maganda, super mura. But when we do our traceback and everything, yung lupa yon may title pala. So when we trace back the tax deck, may nakasulat TCT on the title, on the tax deck. Kaya may mother title. Sir, sabi mo tax deck lang ito, sir. But may title. Yun pala, it's a mother title. Sabihin na lang natin 2 hectares. So, sa probinsya kasi, ewan ko ba't nangyari yon sa probinsya, pag may nagbenta ng portion ng 2 hectare, so may bagong tax deck. May nagbenta ganito, may bagong tax deck. So, sabi ko, saan yung original title? Doon sa isa na bumili ng 5,000 square meter, hawak niya ang title. Okay, kasi if hindi mo i-correct yung mistake na yan, ikaw na bumili ng, let's say, a part of that property, you cannot, number one, you cannot have it title because may title na siya. So you need to collaborate with other buyers or have an approved subdivision plan para yung mother title ma-convert, kung 6 kayo, ma-convert to 6 na TCT. Okay, so that's an issue in Mountain Barangay of Cebu. Professional broker standard, no? Compliance with regulation, proper due diligence, transparency to buyers, ethical market practice. So, compliance, no? Sabi ko ulit to our very enterprising agents, if you're in Cebu or outside Cebu, I'm always inviting you here for what reason, and I'm always posting it here, na we welcome everybody to create livelihood in real estate. But let's always be compliance in our industry. So number one, if you don't want to be a licensed broker or you don't want to be an accredited salesperson kasi part-time ka lang, please hanap ka ng mga kakilala, kaibigan o katrusted mong broker to be your partner para to help you in your validation of mga listing property. Para lahat ng mga ATS nyo, authority to sell, nandoon ang pangalan ng licensed broker. Para pag nagka-problema sa seller side, pag hindi nagbigay ng whatever promise commission, may right si licensed broker to collect the commission. Kasi kayo mga non-licensed, wala kayong rights. Pag kayo ang naghabol, nag-complain sa barangay, nag-file ng case, babalik lang sa inyo ang kaso, practicing real estate without license. So let us be like this. Always my calling, no, to everybody. Bookkeeper, collaborate with a licensed accountant and they collaborate harmoniously. Lahat ng trabaho ng bookkeeper must be reviewed and signed by a licensed accountant. Lahat ng trabaho ng mga draftsman, drawing, reviewed and signed by a licensed architect before accepted by the UBO and others. Lahat ng trabaho ng mga legal secretary, affidavit, is reviewed and notarized by a licensed lawyer. Hindi yung biglang liko, nag-notarize, nagpirma, si secretary pa rin, no? Hindi na natin alam yan. But what's important, lahat ng mga ahente-ahente, lahat ng work must be supervised, reviewed, and signed by a licensed broker. Diba? We don't need to habol na. As long nandun lang yung relationship, we don't need to wait the law. Kasi kahit wala ang law, pag may mali, tayo rin kawawa. Kayo din kawawa pag tinabla kayo ng commission and no broker will depend you to protect you. But if you work under a broker, lahat tayo panalo. Okay? Because we need you, honestly. Let's be honest. Sino ba mga broker nag-practice in the southern part of Cebu? Those are farmland. Lahat tayo nasa city proper. So, syempre, I'll be working with the enterprising kagawad, mayor, as LGU, staff, and others. But there must be a broker on record. Either you're a broker on record on the seller side, or you're a broker on record on the buyer side, or you're a broker on record on both sides. Diba? So, that's why we need you, but we need your help to collaborate with us, to collaborate with your fellow broker na you're hiyang comfortable to work with. Okay? So, hopefully, we can do that trust and collaboration. So, key takeaway, professional broker must verify license to sell. Balik na lang tayo. Understand buyer's protection law. Detect fraud risk. Identify property red flag. Your duty is not just closing deals, but protecting transaction. Kaya tayo, weekly, we're doing this because we hope our community to grow. Maybe we are this number. Next month, we invite one, we become double, triple, di ba? So parami ang mga community natin. And when we work together, we practice the same standard under the RESA law. So we are not perfect, we're just human, but at least we've been sharing our ups and downs, our experience, our success and failure para we learn from other people's mistake. Maiwasan na natin, and vice versa. I'm hoping also to learn from you. Okay, disclaimer, these are based on our education purposes only, so sharing experience. So finality, we still need to check all legal aspects.